Look out, Boris Spassky. Here comes Spider-Man Bobby Fischer. Pawn Sacrifice, directed by Edward Zick, starring Tobey Maguire as Bobby Fischer. This is the movie about the life of Bobby Fischer, how he grew up, how he became one of the greatest chess players ever known, who trained him, how he became friends with Father Bill Lombardi, who was a fellow chess player. What happens when he goes up against Boris Spassky, who's played by Lee Shaver in the movie, and just everything else about him, including Bobby Fischer's mental problems, the mental health he had, and his anti-Semitism, his hatred towards communist politics and everything. Now, Tobey Maguire is a really excellent actor. I really did like him in the Spider-Man movies. When I heard he was doing Bobby Fischer, I said, oh, I want to check this movie out. I'm a chess player. I like playing chess. I always want to learn about Bobby Fischer. And this movie does a very good job of showing who Bobby Fischer is. Even though he was a great chess player, he was also very much of a jerk. He anti-Semitic. He didn't like communist politics. His mother was a part of the Communist Party and Jewish. Because of how he grew up, he had his hatred towards Jews and his hatred towards the Communist Party. He became very conservative. He had all these outrageous demands when he goes out playing chess, that he wanted people to be quiet. He wants a camera that doesn't make any noise, and all these other crazy demands. The way he thinks when he's playing chess, he's able to play chess without the chess pieces. He just looks at a board and knows where the pieces should go when playing chess and how to counter each move. He's even able to play chess if you just say that you're going to move your piece to the square without even looking at the board, and he can tell you which way he'll move his pieces to counteract that move. And it was just pretty amazing how good he is at chess, the fact that he doesn't like draws and everything, and the kind of person that he is. I really did like the chemistry he has with Peter Skarsgård, who plays Father Bill Lombardi in the movie, who was my favorite character in the film. I liked his relationship with his mentor that he had as a kid, who's played by Conrad Pla in the movie. I really did like him. I liked the woman that played his sister, Lily, I don't know how to say this last name, R-A-B-E, Rob, and Sophie Nellis from The Book Thief plays Joan Fisher as a young girl. She wasn't in the movie that much, but she was pretty good for what little she had. The boys that played Bobby Fischer as he grows up, they were all very good in the movie as well. The boy that plays Bobby Fischer as a child and the boy that plays Bobby Fischer as a teenager, they were both very good. The woman that plays Bobby's mom was very good in the movie as well. Lee Shaver plays Boris Spassky, who's very good in the movie too. I really did like him. And the man that plays the lawyer that represents Bobby as he's going through the chess tournament, he was very good in the movie too. So let's talk about the negatives of this movie, because there are a few negatives. The main negative is how unlikable Bobby Fischer is in the movie. I understand he's really not meant to be likable. When you learn everything about him, you can see how much of a jerk he is, but it was very hard for me to root for this guy because of how much of a jerk he is, how outrageous his demands were, how much of a spoiled brat, his anti-Semitism and everything. It was really hard for me to get behind this guy, and a couple of times I was actually rooting for Boris Spassky. I really didn't like the fact that Bobby Fischer had no respect for his opponents, and even for the game in and of itself. He made it all to be about him and everything, and only cared about making himself the best chess player ever at any cost. didn't care what it would mean, what he could lose becoming the best chess player ever, just as long as he became that. I didn't really like that Lee Shaber, who plays Boris Spassky in the movie, was underused. I kind of wished his character was a little bit more developed. But I can understand that this movie is not about Boris Spassky, it's about Bobby Fischer. So you can kind of expect that Lee Shaber's character is a little bit underused, but it shouldn't be as underused as it was. I kind of wish he got a little bit more development so we can get invested in him as much as in Bobby. And overall, it was just a very good movie. I really did like a lot of things about this movie, about Bobby Fischer's paranoia, the way he kept on tearing up his room looking for listening devices because he kept on thinking that the Russians were listening in on him, taking apart his phone, making a ruckus of his room looking for listening devices and everything. And it was just very interesting learning about him and everything. So overall, this is a really good movie. If you like Tobey Maguire, if you always want to learn about Bobby Fischer, if you're a chess player, definitely go see this movie. I'm going to give this movie a B+. It's definitely worth checking out, and that's all I got to say about Pawn Sacrifice.